This is exclusive. Shay starts up in tour. 5 cities in 5 days. We only touching the hottest. And I mean, I don't think I really need to say who it is, where we are, or what we're doing. We just, let the flag speak for itself.
It's so beautiful the way you walk, the way you wear your hair, such a natural.
Let's go back a little bit. Yeah.
I personally have been rocking with you since Blackberry Molasses.
Blackberry Molasses.
So I definitely understand and know that you have been doing this for a very long time, and you have put in a lot of work.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you touched on that. A lot of people don't understand, like, yeah, you're a superstar, you go out here, you do this, you do that, but at the end of the day, you're still human.
Right.
You still,
We still use the
breathe
bathroom.
and sleep just like everybody else. Exactly.
Lay in the bed, wake up, and still have the trials and tribulations of life that everybody else has,
Absolutely.
But,
How do you balance it all, though? How do you go from being Bobby B, the superstar, to, just Bobby at home chilling?
to Bobby Wilson,
Yeah,
it's a transformation, it definitely starts from the family, it definitely comes from that foundation of having a good family behind me and a couple of good friends that have always been there for me and stick by my side. And ultimately, like I said, it goes back to the family. I have a great mother, father, and they've always been there for me. Always told me I could do it, always told me don't give up, and they've always just really been there for me. So I think that is what has kept me sane and, kept me able to, know what is right and wrong. Because you will get in this business and, it's easy to alienate your family and just kind of go on your own, and the business, if you don't have that foundation, it'll drive you crazy because it's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's an up and down ride, and you gotta really just be able to stay down and stick on that roller coaster.
Yeah, and I'm glad you touched on that, because that was going to be like one of my next questions. How was that transition from being with a mainstream label to now blue collar doing your own thing?
Well, the transition happened actually in about 08 was when I first went independent. And a lot of people don't realize that I've been independent for quite some time because I never put it out there. I just really worked hard and made all of my independent situations look like a major situation. So nobody really knew I was independent, but I've been independent since like 07, 08. I try to compete with the best of the best, and I realized that, if I do have that major situation, I always know that the level, I can definitely be better, or at least at the level of some of your favorites, because I've stuck in there just being an independent artist, in the time and in the music industry where independent is like pretty much everybody. I mean, even people with record deals are independent, because just because you have a deal, you got to do the work and you have to do everything yourself, so it's been a blessing for me though, just to be able to see the business on every side and every aspect, because later on in life I'll be able to enlighten some others, not only about music, but about the business, because it's not really necessarily your song, it's the business that you have going with it, the push that you have behind yourself.
Understanding the brand.
Understanding the brand, understanding the mediums, to get yourself out there. So it's just so many different ways to kind of just brand yourself and put yourself out there.
No, you definitely have done that. I mean, through the albums, the mixtapes, I'm still rocking Vitamin D, and he didn't drop this Vitamin. And I'm like, yo, give me a minute to indulge in this, but, let's just, rewind, fast forward a little bit. So, Peach Moon, talk about it.
I was just in the studio. We were recording the album, recording the Peach Moon songs, and, we kind of needed a title, and we were just brainstorming, and I looked out the window, and it was was nighttime, of course, my favorite time to record. And, you know, we was all feeling good in the studio, and I just said Peach Moon. And I thought about it, and everybody was like, yo, that's kind of hot. Let's see what that means. So we looked up the definition, and the peach was the first fruit eaten on the moon when man went to the moon.
Oh, wow.
So with that being the first fruit eaten and something new, you know, this being the first time, I'm kind of changing my style a little bit, doing a little bit more soul and live feeling music. They both coincided because it was the first time, and just that thought of me having that, it just really made sense, and that's how we came to Peach Moon.
So is it safe to assume that's why you chose Back to Love as one of your first singles to release? Because it definitely gives you that live instrument, acoustic,
Right.
in the studio feel. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, Back to Love, you know, I think it kind of sums up where I'm going as an artist. It's something that really sounds like nobody else, and you know, it really can't be recreated.
Yeah.
You know, so I just felt like that was the best because it's 5 songs of what's to come next year with the full-length album.
Okay.
So, you know, we got the full-length album, working with Tim and Bob. I'm working with my producers as well. Murph Keys, I'm producing with him, Jeff B. And we're just kind of collabing and we're getting live, you know, different musicians in to work on the album as well, just to bring their feel to the whole Peach Moon. So it's definitely, you know, something that's going to be different. And the appetizer, which is the Peach Moon EP, is just that. The appetizer is to get that mouth ready, to get that ear ready, to get that mind, body, and soul ready for the full-length Peach Moon album.
And the full-length Bobby V experience, I'm just saying.
The Bobby V experience. So y'all get ready for that.
Well, I gotta ask you this, like R&B is definitely one of my favorite genres across the board. Can't nobody argue me down with that. So you being a real R&B singer, how important is it to you to keep that real R&B soul alive? And how do you think that it's changed since you came in, you know, X amount of years ago?
I think, you know, it's definitely important to, you know, keep it alive because I think that it's important that I stick to that instead of kind of selling out and doing what's hot because the people need this.
Absolutely.
You know, no matter what it sells or you know, they say men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. But to me, that's not really true because, you know, if it touches people, if it touches 10 people and sticks to their soul, and if it changes the lives of 1,000 people, you know, those 1,000 will tell another 1,000, you know, and it'll be word of mouth. And even if they don't tell somebody, it'll definitely help somebody with their life. And that's what I want to do with Peach Moon. You know, I want people to feel good about this. I want people that were about to give up to never give up. I want people to go back to love. I want all my chocolate sisters out there to know that we love our chocolate sisters with Coco Love. I want, you know, I want the people out, I want this young lady to know that I'm missing you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing you, baby. You know what I'm saying? So all these songs definitely mean I'm just doing me because I look at a lot of artists that do them. You might not ever hear them on the radio, but they're doing shows and they're selling out shows, you know? So it's not necessarily what I'm realizing. Radio is great. Of course you want radio because that's one of the most mass mediums possible. But at the same time, you don't want to sell yourself out because when you sell yourself out for, you know, radio,
you lose your real fans.
You lose your real fans and you lose yourself because it's hard to come back constantly after continuing to chase a style, you know, versus chasing
what's going on right now. Yeah.
So, you know, at this point in the stage of my career, you know, I just really want to do what I feel, and you know, hopefully it connects, you know, and it's looking real good. A lot of people are loving Peach Moon. A lot of people don't know that it's out. You know, a lot of people don't know that I have 5 albums before this album. So make sure y'all go to iTunes and check all the albums out. All of it is good, great quality music. So, you know, that's what we're doing.
I mean, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now if it wasn't. I already know. I don't care who sent me, who brought me, whatever. Like, this was actually
shout out to the expert. Bobby V. Facebook, Bobby V Music, and tell them where to find you at.
They already know where they can find me at I am Shay.
You can find her in the club, pocket full of bug.
I don't know. As long as I'm going with you, then it's okay.
We turned up.
All right, well,
We
yeah.
in there.
ShayStar.com, y'all. We out.
It's the perfect time in your